AstroSwap is ready to explode because the DEX is coming out in 2 weeks. But is now the right time to buy, or should we expect one last dip? Now we are going to look at the human psychology of the chart pattern so we can act in an objective, non-emotional fashion so we can see what is the high probability outcomes over the next 2 weeks with AstroSwap. So if you like today's content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you don't know me by now, my name is Jiggy. I'm the award-winning author of The Extraordinary New Venture Capital Opportunity, How to Invest Like a Pro. Been featured in the best-selling book, High Probability Trading Strategies, back in 2008, where I only used to do currencies, but now exclusive on cryptocurrency. So let's dive straight in. All right, we're on CoinMarketCap. AstroSwap today is 14 cents. Market cap, according to CoinMarketCap, is 32 million. Volume is not that great, like 1.8 million. This is the chart pattern. We're going to do a deeper dive. But what we want to also note is AstroSwap is available on gate.io, so you can use stop losses, limit orders, and so on and so forth. But most of the volume is on PancakeSwap. So AstroSwap, so those that don't know, is a DEX, decentralized exchange built for the Cardano blockchain, incubated by the Bluezilla team, partnered and powered by Wagyu Swap, which has been very successful on the Valas blockchain. But today, we're going to keep it objective. We're going to keep it mechanical. We're going to keep it non-emotional. No hype over here, just the reality. So this is a chart of AstroSwap, right? So we know what information do we have. We know it's launching on the 28th of January. We've had this explosive movement from the IDO. Yep, it did like a 500x. And then we had a big correction. Markets typically move in 5s and 3s. That's what we're looking for. So this is like a real bullish 5. You know, this looks like it's almost like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're looking at this. It looks like a really overdrawn correction. And it's gone beyond time, the typical maximum time. So what do we have? We want to combine technicals and fundamentals. There's a key piece of information that most people are going to miss. And it's going to be this part. I'm just going to move this 2 over here. This part of the chart. You go, what does this tell us? What does this tell us? We've been totally objective, non-biased. This is not a bullish sign, right? If you just forget his AstroSwap for a second, forget if you love it, if you hate it, if you love Bluezilla, if you hate Bluezilla, if you think it's going to be one of the top DEXs on Cardano or not one of the major DEXs on Cardano, what do we see here? All right, this is what you call overlapping waves. This is a corrective structure. This is not an impulsive bullish structure. So this tells me that this is not likely to be the low. This has been totally mechanical, non-emotional. So what should we anticipate? Well, again, we're only going probabilities, never certainties. So the main thing, I'm going to uncover 2 things here actually. The main thing is this zone. I'm going to do a broad zone from around 16 cents down to, we're going to get this more accurate, down to around even, I'm going to say 5 cents, right? This zone is likely to be the low in this zone. But let's now just break it down a bit. If this high, this is the main thing I'm getting across here is this is a corrective pattern. This is not impulsive. And this is one of the beauties of Elliot Wave. It tells us if it's corrective or impulsive. If we now just take the closing data, I'm going to just go like this. We're going to take a line chart. It just makes it a bit cleaner. And you'll see that actually this is the high over here. If we do something called an external retracement, this is for end of wave 5s. We can keep it really simple. There's a particular ratio over here. If you're not familiar with Elliot Wave and Fibonacci, it is the most powerful tool when measuring mass psychology. If you're buying and selling AstroSwap, you are a part of the mass psychology of fear and greed, optimism, pessimism. And this is what's driving the markets. I don't care how good the project is. People are speculating. This is a speculative market. Stocks are also very speculative. Gold, silver, commodities, Forex is also very speculative. Take my free Elliot Wave and Fibonacci masterclass. Is an absolute must. It's in the link below because most people are terrible at taking profits and reading market movements. But if you can see the market movements ahead of time, you can get the edge and increase the probability of buying near the low and selling near the top. So this is called an external retracement. And these prices are quite low, right? If it goes to these ranges, it's going to be unreal. So I'm just trying to be mechanical over here. I'm kind of going, look, I want AstroSwap to do this, right? I want it to explode. I want it to, I've been staking my Astro. I want it to explode to the upside. But here, if I'm just putting those emotions to the side and not suffering from something called cognitive dissonance, where I just, when people see what they want to see to prove the case of what they want to prove. Here, we're just going, look, this is, without a shadow of a doubt, a corrective pattern. Now, it's low market cap. It's 30 million market cap. It's only going to take 5-10 million worth of volume, and it can really spike up. So this can change very, very fast. And this could be a wave 1, a wave 2, and then a wave 1 and a wave 2 over 3, and then the market takes off. So that is also a possibility. But just looking at it right now, it just doesn't look like, the fact that a decentralized exchange is launching. And we're gonna look at Wagyu swap for a second in with a similar chart pattern to see what's likely to occur. So we might see, worst case scenario, one last dip before the launch. And if it gets to this range, Jesus, that's going to be shocking prices. But sometimes that's what's needed. Sometimes a bit of negative news could drive it down to 5 cents. Like logically, in my mind, I go, no way is it going to get down to 10 to 5 cents, 5 to 10 cents. But I'm just being mechanical here. That's just a possibility, so just be careful. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into Wagyu swap for a second, because this was a great example, a great case study. What I've done over here is drawn 2 boxes. One, the first pink box, pinkish purplish box, was when they announced Wagyu swap the launch 3 days before the launch, and there was a massive surge in the price, and then there was a bit of a correction, and then the Wagyu swap actually went live with the high APYs, and there was a massive surge, and then followed by profit taking, natural correction, right? That's what typically happens. So if we zoom in over here, prior to the launch, prior to 3 days, this was much more impulsive. This was, impulsive, a bit of a correction, and then it really just took off. So the pattern that I'm seeing with AstroSwap right now is more similar to this pattern over here, right? If we just kind of look at it like this, if I can get it like this, boom, right? This overlapping wave structure, right? This is a corrective wave structure, bit of a move to the downside, and then an explosive move to the upside. So with Astro, as bullish as I am on it, I go, right, if we're just being absolutely objective, there's a good probability, especially if this low over here, where's my line? If this low over here gets taken out on the downside, like this, then we're probably going to see a price action over here. But then now let's just finish on the optimistic case. Let's just get candlesticks back out, because we want the starting price of the IDO. Is, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that, this movement to the downside is, so percentage terms is very big, because it's like 66%, 50, 60, 70% from here to here. But this, if we're doing a wave count, this is more like a wave 4 structure. If I saw it like just for what it is, it looks like a corrective wave 4 structure. But then after a correction, what we're looking for, if I just now get this, if it does go in this region, we are still anticipating the exact same thing. Nothing's changed. We are still looking for 82, 83 cents to $1.30. So still around a 10x. And that's what Wagyu did. Once Wagyu got close to its launch date and actually launched, when it launched like this, we did a video on Wagyu, and we projected this in advance down here, and this price was around 30 to 25 cents, and it went to around $3. So it did a nice 10x. So we should anticipate something similar with AstroSwap. 10x would be $1.50. So if it suppresses a bit more, gets down to around 10 cents, maybe a bit lower, this will be a 13x. If this move occurs from this zone up to this overextended wave. But then be mindful that people are receiving double staking rewards on the mainnet. Depending on how juicy the APYs are, if the demand is going to be very strong and everything else, naturally what tends to occur next is some type of correction. And then slightly longer term, boom. There you go. That's my thoughts on AstroSwap. What do you think? Right? This is just, I'm biased. I am biased on AstroSwap. Why? Because I hold AstroSwap. I love AstroSwap. I think it's going to do incredibly well. So it breaks my heart where I have to go, man, this chart pattern over here is not looking as bullish as I would like. Like, this is what you call bullish, right? This is the IDO. That's bullish. This is losing strength. You can see that. It's called a fifth wave diagonal. And bang, natural corrections. This is a typical correction, but it really went deep. market conditions. You got to take Bitcoin into account. You got to take everything into account. This, when they announced the date over here, it had a punch, but there was no follow through. There was no follow through. What I would have loved to have seen, would have been this exact movement. They announced the DEX, yeah, short-term profit taking, yeah, that's fine, and then a massive follow through, bang. Now this could be, we could argue, it could. This is just the nature of where the market is right now with the data that we have. We haven't got weekly chart data with momentum indicators, so we have to just make a judgment call based on where we are. The other argument could be, actually, Jagir, looking at it, this could be because markets move into fives and threes, and the next wave also breaks down into a 5 and a 3. The other argument, so if we had a massive surge, like this could happen, looking at the momentum also, right? And then this would be more like I'm just going to draw this, because you just got to look, isn't it? Because sometimes it's just go, look, you buy in the zone, and we know, we'll be okay. This could be a potential wave 1, a wave 2, just on a micro degree here, where we're kind of catching waves within waves, and then this structure breaking down on the next phase could be like a wave 1, a wave 2, because this part of the 2 hasn't been exceeded on the downside. It could be forming what would be potentially a wave 3, 4, and a 5, something like this, and then this will end up being a wave 3. If I'm talking Chinese to you right now, as in, what is this guy going on about? Take my free Elliot Wave and Fibonacci masterclass. It makes much more sense when you've done that, especially if you've done my courses. If you take one of my courses, by the way, you'll get invited to my private Telegram group. We do Saturday workshops, and I'm going to do a lot more workshops because I realized, people need to know this info in particular. Then what we will probably anticipate, what's the date here? This would still be Jan 22nd, so it's still going to be 6 days prior. We'll probably see a bit more profit taking, a wave 4, a wave 5. And this is me, total speculation here. This is just another alternative outcome before the launch. Where's the launch? The launch it's going to be around here. Yeah, so the main thing is when the main wave takes off, we might see something like this. Again, I could clean it up, but I'm just kind of giving an indication on this wave structure. This will end up being a bigger degree wave 1. These would all be smaller degrees of wave counts within that wave 1. I have a feeling I'm talking Chinese to you right now, but I'm gonna finish because I started. Let's go, bang. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just say this is the 5 here, this is the 1, and then we might get a bit of a correction as a macro 2, and then in line with the launch of AstroSwap, then a wave 3 of a wave 3. This is what I'm counting. This is normal human psychological behavior. 1, 2, and then a wave 3 of a wave 3, which tends to be the biggest, strongest, impulsive wave. And this is where you'll make most of your money, especially in financial markets. Get rid of these. Very, very impulsive. And then we should see some type of wave 4, which typically comes down to the range of the previous wave 4. And this is the previous wave 4 low here. So it would be something like this, into this range, and then a final impulse to hit and smash these two targets. Wave 5 can sometimes be the impulse wave, bang, something like this. That's what I'm anticipating. The thing we don't know, I don't know, you don't know, we can only guesstimate is this 2 gonna hold as the low, or are we gonna get one more dip? Again, the next few days will be vital, because if we get a movement to the upside, that's what the momentum is indicating, then it's likely it'll be this scenario. But if we get a movement to the downside, we might have one little last sell-off before we get an explosion to the upside. So I don't know how helpful that was, because I just gave two sides of the story, right? Two sides of the coins, heads or tails. That's why it's probabilities and never certainties. But But to kind of get the edge in the market, I highly encourage you to take my free Elliot Wave and Fibonacci masterclass. I put a lot of work in to simplify this very complex topic, often a boring topic that people don't really enjoy. But once you kind of understand the mechanics and you'll see these patterns and they're identifiable, the secret is really to get the level where you're 1 to 4%, working at 1 to 4% above your current level. So if you're brand new, just focus on the basic Elliott wave counts. If you're a bit more advanced and you've kind of been in the game for a bit more, look on multiple degree counts and then add the Fibonacci ratios. And then you'll see you can ignore the fundamentals, pretty much ignore the fundamentals because it's baked into the psychology and it's all mass herd psychology. And the more participants and the more volume there is, more often than not, around 50, 60, sometimes 70% of the time, especially in crypto, the chart patterns tell us how the market's feeling. Even when there's absolute depression and pessimism, sometimes that's needed for the market to reverse, and then you just get the kick up. And we've seen that with Bitcoin when it, 2017, bang, and then 2018, all the way down, and then it just took off again. Five-wave structure. We're currently seeing that three-wave correction, and now we're probably going to see a last impulse of a five-wave structure. That's going to complete a five-wave macro big picture from 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, and pretty much 22. It's almost like a 5.5, 6 year cycle. And then we'll see probably a macro degree correction. And then the next bull run in 2024, 2025. But now on a micro degree, on a micro cap, like AstroSwap, the same thing applies. So let's finish on a quote. I'm sure I had, here we go. This is today's quote. What's today's quote, Jagir? Today's quote. We're going to use this one. No, let me use this one. This might have been yesterday's one. Do you like my bookmark, by the way? I'm a big fan of the Rubik's Cube. All right, here we go. Leonardo da Vinci. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. If you can count to 5 and you can count to 3, then you can do Elliott waves. And it's simple. People overcomplicate technical analysis. They have a million indicators, this moving average, that moving average. They've got this thing, that thing. Then they got lines, trend lines, triangles, this, that, and the other. I found Elliott wave is probably one of the most powerful, underestimated, and unknown tools to technicals, just looking at mass psychology. Then you add in Fibonacci ratios, which is 0.618. That's the key ratio, and 1.618, where in nature, these ratios show up again and again and again. And Ralph Nelson Elliott, back in the 1800s, 1900s, really figured out that the market moves in these ratios with these wave structures. And when you can combine those two, and then with Fibonacci time and momentum indicators, when you got 3 to 4 pieces of information that gives you a confluence of events, then you got high probability. So we're not sure with AstroSwap. We just need to let the data play out for maybe another couple of days. If we get a spike to the upside, we go, yep, it looks like we're going to just keep going up. But if we do get that correction, because it does look like an overlapping corrective structure, a movement to the downside, that should be the end of the correction. We should get a reversal. There'll probably be some major FUD, like fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and something that's needed for the market for the reversal to happen. We're looking for an overbalance of price, which is like a nice punchy move to the upside, a nice little correction, and then to let it take off. So if you like today's video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you very soon.